I feel so relaxed and calm. And now I have to start speed of light talking, and after Lydia and Petros, I really don't want to go in my brain right now. So please bear with me, because I'm going to kind of try to talk to you guys about some things that are very cerebral and very, biochemical in nature. But maybe we can kind of take a different approach and look at these pathways and try to listen to what I have to say, maybe feel it in your body, and see if these kinds of ideas and concepts that I'm going to talk to you guys about resonate with you. And if you feel it and it resonates with you and you say, oh, that really is exciting to me, that's something that I feel might be an issue, then look into it. I mean, I always tell moms and dads that your intuition is so important. You have to not just feel your body, but you have to feel your child, and you have to feel what you think is the right thing to do for them. Because you're going to hear from so many people, this is right, this is wrong, do this, do that, don't do this, don't eat that, eat this, eat that. And what's going to happen? What happens to you guys? I need some input from you. What happens? You feel crazy, and then you put your fingers together, and you recenter yourself, and you slow down, go back to what he has to say, feel aware, and then think about what makes sense, and then prioritize. So again, this talk, we're going to go a little bit, into some concepts that I want you to try to understand, because these are important pieces for many of our children. And if we can get some of these pieces put into this puzzle, right? We call our kids a puzzle. And there's some pieces that are not connecting very well. And then there's some pieces that are over-connecting. So some of these pieces might help our children reconnect some of those pathways that are disconnected. But what we know is that all diseases are linked to our genetic predisposition, who we are, and they're linked to the environment. All diseases that we potentially have are linked to our genetics and our environment. And when we think of our environment, what do you guys think of? What makes up our environment? Our parents, our society. What else? You can say it out loud. Our food. What else? Our toxicity, our water, our sunshine, our stressors. So all these factors are playing a role in how we present, how our bodies feel, right? So this concept of our genetics and our environment together, we use the term epigenetics. So it's a fancy term, but it just means this interplay between our genetics and our environment. And we learned today that our genes, right, that our DNA, our RNA, that make our proteins can be turned on and they can be turned off. So in your family, you know that you have certain genetic predispositions. In my family, we have diabetes. In your family, you might have heart disease. In somebody else's family, they might have depression or anxiety. But what gives you that? Why would you present with anxiety or depression? It runs in your family. Say diabetes runs in my family. I don't have diabetes. Why not? Why is that? Because it's my epigenetics. It's my environment and how I handle that, whether my genes are turned on or turned off. The other huge thing that affects our genes is our nutrition. So the term for that is called nutrigenomics. So that's why we talk about how nutrition, diet, these supplements are a big part of what's important for our environment as well. So if you give enough of the cofactor for a block, then you can move through that block. Kind of like that, yesterday we heard about that dam, and if, vitamin D is blocked, the VDR receptor is blocked, and we give more vitamin D, we can push through. So the same happens. If these enzymes are blocked, if we give the cofactors in high levels, we can push through those blocks. And this study shows that to be the case. So there's a study from the Mind Institute in California, and they looked at mothers who had children with autism. And these mothers were more likely to not have taken their prenatal vitamins before pregnancy and in the beginning of the pregnancy. So if you didn't take your prenatal vitamins, you're at a 2 times more risk of having a child with autism. Again, we think, because you're not getting your methyl donors, you're not getting your folic acid to help with this gene expression. The other thing they found is that if mothers had a defect in this gene, or a SNP in this gene called MTHFR, then those mothers were 4.5 times more likely to have a child with autism. So again, if you're planning a future pregnancy, it's nice to know if you have this polymorphism. Now, if the mom had MTHFR, or if the child has this SNP called COMT, which is catecholamine O-methyltransferase. If the child had this SNP, the risk for autism in those children was 7 times more.